Kathy, it's certainly looking a lot better than it did yesterday when that protest action was taking place. It's mostly cleared now. Just a few minutes ago, some trucks were parked off here just because of the blockage that's further down the road. For those that know the area, there's a popular garage that's at the center of Van Reenen's Pass, and that's where there seems to still be a blockage, and that's where the traffic police are still based at this point. But this is the movement, I think, can be attributed to the fact that police moved in yesterday and arrested those protesting drivers. We got confirmation that 62 of them have been arrested, and they should appear in court soon on charges of public violence. We did find a bit of traffic heading this way, Kathy, just coming in from Durban to Van Reenen's Pass, but that cleared. It seemed to just be a very small delay of about 15 minutes or so, about 10 kilometers out of Van Reenen's Pass. So it looks like authorities are moving quite quickly, and hopefully during the course of the day, the rest of these delays will be sorted out.
Dasen, where were these truck drivers arrested, and what has become of their vehicles? Are these drivers who also had left the vehicles on the road?
And this is precisely the problem. They were arrested here. This was yesterday, in fact, and police moved in and arrested them. But the problem came about with their vehicles still being parked here on the N3. Some of them had lost the keys, and tow trucks had to then come in and remove these very, very heavy vehicles off the road. And that was a process that continued from yesterday until the early hours of this morning. And in fact, even now, as I spoke to you, we just drove past that garage that I was mentioning a little while ago, and that's where authorities are still working. Fortunately, the backlog has been reduced somewhat because, as I explained just now, Kathy, just where I was standing just a few minutes ago was completely backlogged for at least a couple of kilometers, and there seems to now be some movement up front, and we'll be heading out there earlier to see what progress those authorities are making.
So with reference to the cleanup that officials say they're busy with, part of that cleanup essentially includes removing these trucks that are stuck on the road effectively.
That's right, and you can imagine what a mammoth task that must be, because it's a case of, in some cases, not just driving these trucks, having to tow them out, then taking them, probably impounding them, and having to then trace the owners of these vehicles. In some cases, we understand, Kathy, these vehicles have been damaged, so they are not drivable. And that, I think, has also contributed to the delays. So just a lot of work to be done, but in just the space of 24, at least 12 hours or so, authorities have been moving quite quickly. The protest, having started just over 24 hours ago. But I think the concern here is that, yes, this has been sorted out, and we have these arrests now, these 62 arrests, but it seems like of late it's been a recurring problem. I mean, just a month or two ago, we were at Moy River, where there was a similar kind of protest and where trucks had been set alight there. Remember that trucks, I think to the value of around 200 million or so, had been burnt. And even just a day or two ago, there were also two trucks that were torched on the north coast. So it seems like this is just a situation that can't be dealt with on a case-by-case basis, but there needs to be a lasting solution that's found to these problems that some truck drivers say they have in the industry.
And it certainly always has a significant impact on traffic volumes, especially between Johannesburg and Durban. eNCA's Dasen Thathiah, and he'll have more developments on the channel throughout the morning.